So I have a bunch of videos I'm going to be putting out today getting to. You don't want to miss them, but before we do, we need to hit this Rush Propst situation because I've been getting a lot of DMs about it, a lot of people hitting me up, and I've looked into it, and I'm here to tell you that this is a whole lot of nothing. So before we get into that, as always, y'all know the drill. Instead of a question, just hop down, let me know what you're thinking about this certain situation. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm on my push to 5,000 subscribers, and I do constant college football content, so if you're interested in that, come and join the journey to 5,000. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and comment down below. But with all that being said, let's jump straight into this. And this isn't going to be a long video. This is going to be actually a shorter video by my standards because I don't believe that this incident deserves some long, well thought out argumentation towards it because it is just kind of ridiculous. And the interesting thing about this is, for those of you who know, for the OGs of this channel, my background before doing this was law and debate, and so this is kind of an interesting intersectionality into the world I came from. And so when I listened to the tapes, there were a few things that stood out to me as just flat out ridiculous. First and foremost, when I got the DMs from this, it was a little bit alarming. I had people telling me, hey man, there's a tape out that Alabama could have been paying some players along with another SEC school. You might need to listen to it. And when you hear that, that is a little bit alarming. And as an Alabama fan, I'm thinking, ooh, this might not be good, until I listen to the tape and the name I see is Rush Propst. The second I saw that name, I instantly almost clicked off of it and was like, yeah, this is crap. For my SEC fans, you know who this guy is. This guy is a piece of work. The fact that he can have an opinion and it be garnered with any sort of attention is absolutely incredible to me, and really just a testament to the time we are living in. This is an individual who has lied their entire career about anything to get what they want. This is an individual who has scandals about giving players medication when he was explicitly told not to. An incident in 2012 stemming from where he gave a player a pill during a game that caused the player to have lethargic activity afterwards and wasn't himself, that sparked an investigation that, oh yeah, found out that he's been doing this. He's been medicating players if they get hurt, and it happened again in 2018. Aside from that, we have an individual who has lied about having multiple families. We have an individual who is right now, as we speak, in trouble because of his handling of donor monies at the current place he was just at. When you look at Rush Propst and then you add in the tax evasion that he's going through for both state and federal, already this is just about as unreliable as an individual as you could possibly have. But then you don't really need to think about this situation any further than the X's and O's of how he was describing it to realize that this is nothing more than a simple smokescreen. Now, I do want to get this out of the way. Do I think that paying players happens in college football? Of course. Nobody's naive to this, right? It happens everywhere. It doesn't happen like this. And it doesn't happen like this because the way that Rush Propst described this is like a plot out of a Three Stooges movie, in where you're sitting there and wondering, why are the bad guys in these movies always so dumb? Rush Propst was saying that the University of Georgia, for instance, kept Nick Chubb for his senior season instead of having him to go to the draft for 3 simple payments of $60,000. Now, for some people who really don't understand how the NFL works and how college football works, you could listen to that and think, oh man, they're paying players not to go to the draft. See, told you we got them. Until you realized that Nick Chubb would have made at least 4 to 5 times that amount of money in 1 year without even talking about any sponsorships, any endorsements, nothing. Pure contractual and signing bonus. He would have easily cleared that had he just gone to the draft. So it would have been absolutely stupid for him to come back to Georgia, risk injury, risk very bad injury. He could have had what happened to him happen to Jalen Smith. And for those of you that remember, Jalen Smith was lucky that the Cowboys took a chance on him in the second round. Was he a first-round talent? Absolutely. But there was talk that he wouldn't ever be able to gain capacity to play football again because of the injury to that knee. So you're telling me that Nick Chubb is going to risk going to the NFL, making at least 5 times the amount of $180,000 within his first year off of contract, signing bonus, and endorsements, and have that money guaranteed, as opposed to staying in college for $180,000 where he could get hurt and not have any chance at NFL money? Come on. And if you really want to know how serious this situation is, look across the SEC. Other fan bases from teams not named are even looking at this saying, this is a whole lot of nothing. There have been Auburn fans, great content creators, from the J-Boy Show to Brooks Austin, all looking at this and saying, this individual who said this is about as untrustworthy as an individual as you could possibly have. And Propst is an individual with questionable character, right? Medicating players when he wasn't supposed to be, having adverse effects to the medication that he was giving them, to families, taking donor money, federal and state tax evasion. This is an individual who I don't trust as far as they can throw them, and though y'all can't see it, I'm not the biggest person. Standing 5'11", 170, I couldn't throw him very far. This is someone who is just not trustworthy. The donors of these institutions are very wealthy and very smart, and they're not going to sit there and do some Ed, and Eddie Ponzi scheme that Rush Propst suggested. This is not how this stuff would go. There's so much more nuance that would go into this than some busted Three Stooges scheme that he seems to think is going on. Sure, stuff like this happens in college football. I'm not naive to that. But it doesn't happen in the way that he's suggesting, and I'm certainly not believing it happened in any capacity that he said because of all of the things in his past and all the things he's going through now. This is a very convenient time for him to say, don't worry about the donor issues that I'm having with mishandling money. Look over here. Look over at these places because this is a bigger lens and I can get the attention off myself. I don't trust this guy as far as I can throw him, and history has proved he's not trustworthy. That's it. See ya.